Hey, welcome to Book Talk Time at the Decatur Public Library. I'm Mr. John. And as you can probably guess, looking at me, I don't normally dress like this at the library. Today, I am dressed like a caver because I enjoy doing that. I enjoy exploring caves. So I have coveralls to protect my clothing. I have knee pads on in case I have to crawl. I have a helmet to protect my head and a headlamp, because when you go cave exploring, you are in caves where they don't have lights and they don't have walkways. You explore on your own. So while I'm here and dressed up like this, I thought let's talk about some books about caves that we have at the Decatur Public Library. This first one is called Caves, Mysteries Beneath Our Feet. And this is a real simple picture book, and it's actually based on a true story. It's about a farmer in New York who one day discovers that his cows really like to stand in a certain place out in the field during the summer because it's a lot cooler there. And when he clears away the brush, he finds an entrance to a cave on his property. And that cave ends up becoming Howe Caverns, named after the farmer. And today it's a cave that you can go and explore on a tour. And this real simple book talks about how caves are formed and the kind of creatures that live in a cave. So if you just want to learn a little bit about a cave, this is a great book to start with. Now, this is a chapter book called Journey to the Bottomless Pit, and it's a fictional book, but it's based on the life of a real live person. In the 1830s, his name was Stephen Bishop, and Stephen Bishop was a slave in Kentucky, and his owner had just purchased Mammoth Cave, which is today the longest cave system in the entire world. But back then in the 1830s, people didn't know very much about Mammoth Cave, and they certainly didn't know all of the passages in it. So Stephen Bishop's owner gave him the job of figuring that out. And with just a candle or a torch, Stephen Bishop explored miles and miles of Mammoth Cave and drew very accurate maps. And then when they started doing tours of Mammoth Cave, Stephen Bishop became the most important tour guide at the cave. And we owe to Stephen Bishop a lot of the knowledge that we have about this longest cave system in the world. So this is a fictional book, but it's based on the life of a real man, Stephen Bishop, one of the most famous cave explorers in the history of the United States. Now, if you want to learn a whole lot more about caves, this book, Worlds Beneath Our Feet from World Book, talks about 3 really amazing cave systems in the world. One of them is Mammoth Cave that we just talked about. And another one is in Mexico that was just discovered in the year 2000 called the Cave of the Crystals. And it has crystals that are sometimes 30 and 40 feet long. And it is an amazingly beautiful cave. This book will give you lots of information about those systems and one other that's in Europe that is one of the deepest cave systems in the world. And if you want to learn about exploring caves as well as more of the science of caves, this book called Exploring Caves by Nancy Allenbach and Hazel Barton is by 2 of the most famous cave explorers and cave scientists in the world today. These 2 ladies have explored caves all over the world. And in this book, they talk about exploring, well, regular caves like Mammoth Cave that we talked about, but also caves like ice caves in the north that are caves in ice, and even underwater caves. We have, so many great books, fictional books, easy books, nonfiction books about caves here at the Decatur Public Library. So stop in sometime or check the link out below this video and you'll find a whole lot of books that we have about this subject that I think is really interesting. We'll see you at the next Book Talk time at the Decatur Public Library.